we will play some music, and then we'll be back with a little shenanigans with the cast of Robin Hood. All right, Angel, with the cast list.
Yes, that was The Adventures of Robin Hood, and here are the cast of characters. Robin Hood was played by Matt Donnelly. Much the Miller's Son was played by Chris Burns. Will Scarlett, Micah Mangiamelli. Alan Adale was played by Matthew Agori. Little John and Friar Tuck were both played by Alex. Sheriff of Nottingham, Chris Burns. Prince John was played by Dr. Williams. Sir Guy was played by...
Dan Brown.
Dan Brown, thank you. Maid Marian was played by Becca Dawson. Marion's nanny and Ellen were both played by Meg Burnett. The child of Alan Adale was played by Rachel Escher. Sister Leah was played by yours truly.
Angel LaPointe, of course.
King Richard was played by Dan Brown. Bishop was played by Micah Mangiamelli. And Sir Dixon was played by Chris Burns.
And what we're going to do now is we're going to have a little fun with the cast who is all still here for the rest of the show, except for some. And we are going to interview each of their characters. We're going to start off here with the Bishop. Hello, Bishop.
How are you?
Hello.
You sound familiar.
Why?
Did you do any other famous weddings? Humperdinck?
Humperdinck? I think I remember Humperdinck.
So what do you say on the sort of very astute institution of marriage?
Marriage?
Marriage.
Well, I usually start out like this. Marriage, that blessed arrangement that brings us together today.
Are you sure you didn't do Humperdinck's wedding?
Is that pretty? That sounds pretty much like it. Pretty much word for word like it.
You sure? I don't remember Humperdinck.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure.
Say man and wife.
Man and wife.
Yep.
Yeah, we
That's
got.
it.
How did you get here from Gilder? Exactly. So, tell me about your lisp.
What wisp?
That
That
lisp.
one.
I don't have even the widowest wisp in the world.
If you say so.
All right.
Stubborn salting my great office.
I see no holy man here. Shut up, Friar Tuck. All right, well, that was our friend Bishop, unless you have any other things to add to that.
Marriage.
Hey, is there still a wedding tonight?
Hello.
Who are you?
I am the priest who married Prince Humperdinck and Princess Bawakwa.
Did you really marry Prince Humperdinck and Bawakwa?
Yes.
Okay.
I start my weddings. Marriage is what brings us together today.
So who is that guy?
I don't know.
Well, then we're going to cut out while we figure out who the heck that guy was. And right now you're going to listen to Best of Me by The Letter Black.
The Eagle. 89.7 FM, WTXR, Toccoa Falls, Georgia. Listen online at WTXR.com.
And here we are with...
Richard the Lionhearted.
How did they pull that transplant off?
Well, what you don't know is medieval medicine is actually quite good in comparison to what we perceive it to be.
You bled Robin Hood to death.
Not my fault.
I liked Leah.
You would.
She's a good role model.
She's a terrible role model. What are you talking about?
So you want young women to go and murder heroic men in their beds?
No, I want to go murder heroic men in their beds.
Fair enough.
How strange and peculiar that is.
Quite. So, King Richard, what did you do that required you to have a heart transplant with a lion?
Mine wasn't beating strong enough for me to be a noble king and warrior.
Plenty of other kings lived without a lion's heart.
But none of them got to be called the Lion-Hearted.
This is true.
That is very true.
So I heard about your brother's heart transplant. What did he get again?
Badger.
Honey badger?
What?
Honey badger?
No.
Because you know he just took what he wants.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
You wouldn't.
Never
You got to
mind.
wait for the age of the internet for that one.
The what?
Exactly. So, anything new in the kingdom now that John is in exile?
Not too terribly much. We have some very cool music now. People are creating things called guitars.
Ooh. Sounds pretty.
Impressive. So I heard about your little spat with France. What's that?
It's France. Isn't that enough?
This is fair enough.
I surrender! I surrender!
John, what are you doing here? You've
That's
become
the
one
sheriff,
of them!
you moron. You lion-hearted moron. That's the sheriff.
I've grown blind in my old age.
The lion-hearted and the mole-eyed.
Mention death.
What?
The lion-hearted and the mole-eyed. Well, that was my friend's King Richard. Anyone else have anything to add to that? Because that was hilarious.
Long live King John!
You
I
were
get-
only a prince.
Can I go take him out?
Yeah, get rid of him.
Yay!
What he said.
Can I get rid of him too?
No, he's fun.
Fine.
All right. Coming up next is My Sweet Escape by Run Kid Run. Thank you for listening to Nerd Squad Radio Theater's interview session. Well, now we have the exiled Prince, let me emphasize that, John, and his little buddy, the Sheriff of Rotting Face, or whatever.
I am not the king of rotting face.
You're not the king of anything. So, Princey, where are you heading now that you're in exile?
I'm going to Disney World.
But I want to go to Universal.
We can't go to Universal. Do you have any idea what Hollywood would do with our story?
But I don't care about the story. I want to go to Universal.
No, at Universal they all have all the old movies that are classics that you can participate in. We need some postmodern person to make us bad guys the heroes.
Wait a minute here. I actually saw some good Hollywood portrayals of you two, especially you. What was his name? Claude Rains did quite a good job with you, Sheriff.
Anyone who did a good job portraying him would be doing a bad job.
Oh, you're going to wish yourself there. Or I'll slit your throat.
You couldn't slit a tomato if you had a razor-sharp knife. I send you after Robin Hood. What do I get? Exile!
Hey, that was not my fault there. That was your own bloody fault.
My fault? How do you come up with that theory?
I have no idea. But I don't care. I want to go to Universal.
Let's have a debate here. Let's debate the merits. All right, why Disney World?
Because they have Pirates of the Caribbean.
He's got a point there.
Fair. What do you got?
Universal. Who cares about what you think? I'll cut your heart out with a spoon.
I don't have a heart.
Actually, according to your brother, you've got a badger's heart.
That is a lie.
Are you sure?
I am completely heartless.
Really?
I believe that.
That little animal must be a skunk. You must smell really bad.
Your insults are lacking of late, Sheriff.
Oh, shut it.
His insults have always stunk.
Oh, and we have a winner. That's right, you're going to Disney World.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Good.
Yeah, just stay in France with the rest of them. Meanwhile, while they're arguing about France and stuff like that, we're going to listen to Mock the Music by Children 18-3. Hope you guys enjoyed so far. Next up, we will have Robin and Marion themselves.
Yay!
So, So, now we have our hero and his wife, Marion. Robin, have you, in fact, obeyed all of the king's commands with such cheer?
Oh, yes.
Robin? Not in front of everyone.
So, married life. How's it going for you guys?
She wants me to wear matching clothing.
Get closer to the mic.
She wants me to wear matching clothing.
And it's only civilized, Robin.
But you want me to get rid of the hat?
No, I want you to get a new hat.
What, like a yellow hat or something?
That wouldn't be bad.
You know, yellow and other bright colors worn by men can be considered to be a little bit on the
Robin.
side.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have Robin Hood in the studio. So, how are the kids?
Well, they can be rambunctious, and they're not very good at their shots, but we're working on it, you know.
Yeah, yes, we've got quite a full house. We have 7 children.
Wow.
Ooh.
Fortunately, we had a dog at one point, but during marksman practice, one of the kids got a little out of hand.
That's terrible.
It tasted good in the stew.
Well, you know, with the Black Plague going around, we had to make do with what we had.
There was no meat. It was a hard time, but we get along quite fine.
Well, that's exciting. So,
You
I
didn't
heard
eat any
you
of the
guys-
kids, did you? Didn't eat any of the kids yet, have you?
Oh heavens, no! But I've
Of
got
course
my
not.
list.
I don't believe I've seen this.
I created it on the way here, and if you keep the way you're going, you're first.
Okay.
And we can start with how you keep leaving the lid off the chamber pot. It smells awful in the house all the time. How many times do I have to tell you? You just have to put the lid on.
Hey, a man's got to do what a man's got to do, and that type of do is just
oh dear.
Oh heavens, we're in front of people. Oh no. Robin! Well, you know, I've been thinking we should take the children on a trip.
a trip to where?
I was thinking Disney World.
Disney World? I want to ride the pony.
There's no pony at Disney World. There's an elephant that flies.
There's a teacup ride.
Teacup rides.
Teacups. Shall I wear that with my yellow hat?
Now, Robin, you've gone far enough. We're going to have a long conversation when we get home.
Well, that's good because you've got 10 seconds left. So that was Robin Hood and Maid Marian. Next up, we have Say It Loud. I mean, actually, You Have My Attention by Copeland, and then we will introduce next week's radio drama. Well, we hope you enjoyed the adventures of Robin Hood because that was incredibly stressful for me because I did not know how that was going to go.
I told you it was going to be fine.
Fine, I know. So, whether or not you like Nerd Squad Radio Theater, we're going to continue it because we enjoyed it more than you did, probably.
That was much fun.
Yes, much better than just trying to be a copy of Geekdom, which we did not know
We didn't
existed
know.
when we started.
We just did our thing.
So, next week we will be doing... Let me give you a little preview of next week's story. And... the most merciful thing in the world, I think, is the inability of the human mind to correlate all its contents. We live on a placid island of ignorance, in the midst of black seas of infinity, and it was not meant that we should voyage far. That was the opening lines of our next radio drama, The Call of Cthulhu, adapted by me and written in the originality by H.P. Lovecraft. It's a bit of a switch from Robin Hood, wouldn't you say, from what you've read of it?
Just a bit, yeah.
The Call of Cthulhu is a straight-up horror story
Yeah.
about a creature that lives in the depths of the earth that is the very portrayal of madness itself, and humanity in our ignorance brought it forward to be seen once again by the world.
That was a bad idea.
That was a very bad idea. And you will see in Call of Cthulhu why exactly it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
We will have new cast members next week, mostly. We will have series regulars, myself and Angel,
We will be here every week.
every week.
It's our show. We have to.
Yeah, pretty much. It's her student ministry. I don't have to actually speak every week.
I do.
But I write these things, so
He
I am
writes
going
them.
to speak every week.
He writes and he's speaking. It's
Yeah.
my student ministry.
So she has to say
I
something.
have to say something.
Yeah. And then we will have two new actors. Chance Rigdon, who will be playing Mr. Thurston, who is the
awesome.
narrator.
Chance is awesome. You better listen.
If you haven't seen him if you didn't see him in A Midsummer Night's Dream, and if you did, he played Lysander, and he was fantastic, and we are very glad to have his voice
Oh, yeah.
lended to this radio
Yes,
station.
we are.
We also have Megan Brown, who will be playing a couple of roles, and poor girl is going to die twice.
Poor dear.
And we will have our return of Becca Dawson, who played Maid Marian today, to play a role that she's very much looking forward to. So I'm not going to spoil it for her.
You'll just have to listen next week.
Yes. But right now, we're going to shut it down. We will see you next week with The Call of Cthulhu.
Yay.
Please don't be too terrified by it. It's going to be great.
It is going to be great.
She's read some of the script. You like it?
I've read the script. It's really good. My lines that I've read, which are the only things I've read, are really good.
Oh, and also we
creepy.
will have Jen Dahl if she's available.
If she's available, yeah.
I mean, she's probably going to be available. She hasn't told me anything different.
Yeah.
But
She
we
hasn't
will
told me anything
probably
different,
have
yeah.
Jen Dahl as Inspector LaGrasse. So, new cast members on the new Nerd Squad on WTXR. Coming up next, if you like me, check yes. If you don't, I'll die. What? Wait, what? What? What is that song?
I wrote a fake love note, and it had something to that effect.
All right, well, you'll be listening to that. We're not going to, so tell us what it is. Thank you, and have a nice night. And thanks for listening to Nerd Squad Radio Theater on WTXR.